Ladies and gentlemen.
What's going on, people? Back with a bang. Here I am to bring you guys your weekly watch list once again. So I'm actually recording this after market Friday, but by the time you're watching this, if you are watching this, you're watching it on a Sunday. So just keep that in mind when you see the post-market movement, you see after hours movement and that kind of stuff. But in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the stocks I'm watching for this upcoming week, different calls, different put plays, different swing ideas, also the different stocks that I'm watching for the longer term, and of course some patterns that you might want to look out for. And before we do that, do me a huge favor and drop a thumbs up, show your appreciation for these videos. Make sure you comment as well, let me know your thoughts, and of course if you're new around here, hit the beautiful red button below and subscribe. It is completely free and it does help me in a great way. And then lastly, share it with your friends as well if you are able to. So just jump into the video. I'm going to be looking at a lot of big tech today. The past week we crushed in the Discord, only trading a few stocks, but we didn't really trade big tech as much as I would have liked. So going into this week, we are looking at trading big tech. As you can see, S&P, the NASDAQ fall as NVDA slides for the second straight day. Again, I'm after hours Friday, so you're seeing these kind of things. GameStop, AMC, Tang, the usual. And yeah, let's talk about big tech because they say the rally in big tech might be getting stretched. So let's start off with Apple. Apple, as I mentioned in my last video, I was been looking at the puts. I was looking to see if it held around the moving average before it started downtrending. Remember, we reached highs of 218. We ran up way too fast, way too high, and then now we're falling back down. We're pulling on back. We could pull on back to around $200, and I do think, looking at the 4-hour chart, Apple has room to drop. Now that does happen with a lot of stocks which are overextended, and Apple was overextended as I mentioned to you on last video. But looking at the hourly chart, again, similar story. If you want to see, intraday, you can look at the hourly chart, you can look at 15 minutes, you can look at those different time frames just to see what it does intraday. Moving on, Tesla. I'm also just looking to see how it pans out right now. It's hovering around my level of support. If you look here, it's had about a month of pretty much consolidation with a couple big days here and there to the downside, to the upside. It's been a bit mixed. But yeah, I'm looking at Tesla to start pushing out, to start breaking out, and eventually work our way back out of this consolidation to the upside. I don't think Tesla is a stock that you want to be swing trading right now. It's a bit too risky, but I do think looking at the 4-hour chart, again, we're seeing a lot of consolidation. A breakout could be coming either way. I'm leaning more bullish, but I do think a breakout could be on the cards soon enough. That $200 level is the price point I'm targeting from a couple months ago, but again, you just got to watch to see how it pans out. Intraday, you see on the hourly chart, sometimes it does have those erratic moves to the upside, but also to the downside. So again, it's not really a stock you want to swing right now. More just look at day trading it and take your profits here and there where they come. That 191 level is probably my first price target, where we were a few days ago, and then we'll go higher than that. Moving on to Microsoft. I told you it's big tech today. Microsoft, first thing you notice, you look at the 4-hour chart, it's beautiful. This is a great uptrend. The whole month of June, we've pretty much been bullish, and now we're at that 450 mark post-market. It's just been riding the moving averages, pulling on back just to go higher each and every time. This is the kind of chart you want to see. I'll pull up the daily chart now as well. Again, beautiful chart. Just ebbs and flows to the upside. Again, it's going to probably pull on back to around 447, might drop a few dollars, maybe a couple more than that. But we are looking at Microsoft calls and seeing if it can continue this great rally, continue pushing to the upside. Because right now, it's looking bullish, it's looking strong, it's doing what it does, and it is making a name for itself. I mean, obviously Microsoft is very well known, but people seem to sleep on Microsoft. I don't see people trading it as much as I see them trading the other stocks, your NVIDIAs, your AMDs, your Teslas, your Metas, but do not sleep on Microsoft. Moving on to Amazon. Amazon's chart is a little bit more erratic. We've had our pushes up, we've had our breaks down, we've had the bullish momentum, we've had the bearish momentum. Now we're looking at starting to push up again. And actually, it looks like there's a resistance here. Let me just draw that for you. It looks like there's a resistance here around 189. So we are at that resistance level. Are we going to fall back down from here? Or can we break above it and just break out? That's what I'm intrigued to see with Amazon. But it's one to keep on your radar to see what it does from here. It might pull on back to around 184, 185. But again, just watch to see what it does. Maybe Monday. And then maybe after that, decide what you want to do. It's looking more like a day trade now than a swing trade, but we'll see how it pans out. Moving on to Netflix. What a chart. How strong has Netflix been over the past 2 months? Extremely bullish. It's just continued rallying and rallying back up towards the $700 level. Looking at the 4-hour chart, you can see what it does. The patterns is It pulls on back just to go higher. Pulls to the moving average just to go higher. And if you look at the hourly chart, you see the exact same thing. All the time frames are pretty much doing the exact same thing. Even when it breaks below, it doesn't hold. It breaks out, continues pushing up, making higher highs, and just showing us how strong Netflix can be. Now, if you look back at the past, couple years, you look back when Netflix was near the $700 level. I think that was way back, beginning of 2022. Right, yeah, end of 2021. It was around $670, $680. We pushed onto $700 before falling back down to like $200. Again, we're now near that $700 level. I'm thinking we push up towards $700 before we pull on back. So again, keep Netflix on your radar. Now moving over to SMCI, another one in the big tech. So we're at $905. I'm looking for that $1,000 price point this week. Can we push on to $1,000 where we were back at the beginning of the year? At the beginning of the year, we saw a huge run up before we fell back down. But now I want to see us to push back towards $1,000 level before we do anything else. That's really the price target right now. If you just look at this chart, it's been a bit wishy-washy. It's pushed up just to break down. It's consolidated a little bit and then broke out. Now it's pulling on back to the moving average. Nothing wrong with that. But again, I am looking for us to push past this level and back up to $1,000. It might happen within a day because this stock can rally 60, 70 bucks in a day. It might take a bit longer than that. We'll see. Now, XLE, I'm pulling this up because of ExxonMobil, Marathon. I'm putting it up because of Oxy. I'm putting it up because of CVX. All those stocks have this current pattern. It's in a downtrend. We saw bearish momentum, but then we saw a little bit of consolidation and signs of an uptrend. This might be the reversal right here. If you can break above the moving average, we can see opportunity for calls. We can see Exxon push as well, and CVX and all those as well. This could be where you see those breakouts, and this could be where we start to see that $3, $4, $5 push within a week period for the energy sector. But just keep your eyes on it, see how it pans out, and again, wait for the break above the moving average. You don't want to get, we see we wicked off the moving average twice. You don't want to get rejected here. You want to push up, break out, and continue pushing towards 116, 117, 119, so on and so forth. A couple more now before we finish off. I'm going to go with RKT to begin with. So rocket companies. Look, I'm looking at the puts on this. The daily chart is starting to show bearish signs. We broke below both moving averages. We started to pull on back after we hit highs of $16. I'm looking at the RKT puts. Looking at the 4-hour chart, you see it pushed up, but will we hold above that moving average? Intraday, it looks a bit more bullish today, Friday, but apart from that, if you look at the chart overall, you zoom out, you'll see this is a lot more bearish. So I'm expecting us to take the RKT puts once it breaks below the moving average. This could be a typical situation where a stock pushes up just to break back down. We've seen, if we look at the weekly chart here, we've seen where it is, right? There is a possibility it pushes up. But again, I'm looking at puts for this purely because of the daily chart right now. Of course, we don't know what may happen. We'll have to see, but I just wanted to put that on your radar. And lastly, but not least, NVDA, one of the best performing stocks in recent times. People keep talking about this pulling back. People keep talking about this dropping back down to $120, $115. Will that happen? Who knows? Looks like there's a doji here on the daily chart. Looks like we closed below the moving average today. 3% drop is quite heavy for NVIDIA. Let's check the 4-hour chart. 9 and 21 moving averages crossing to the downside. That's bearish. 1-hour chart. Also very bearish. But the thing with NVIDIA and a lot of big tech stocks is one bit of news over the weekend can change everything. One bit of news before pre-market tomorrow can change everything. So I just wanted to let you know. But NVIDIA has been extremely strong. We pushed up to highs of 140, almost 141 before breaking back down. And since we hit highs of 141, we've dropped $14. So just keep that on your radar. In a couple of days, NVIDIA lost a lot of its gains over the past week or two, but it could just be pulling on back to push on higher. Either way, we're going to be live in the Discord tomorrow, doing the usual stuff. You guys know the deal. Make sure you come and join the Discord. That's the first link in the description below. Of course, that's where we talk about stocks. We do the breakdowns. That's where I post my weekly watch list. That's where I do all that kind of stuff and more. Again, that's the first link in the description below. Last week was a great week, and one of the things that you guys need to know is the second link in the description, stock option starter pack. I talk about stock options. I do different breakdowns on how I trade, the meaning of Greeks, my trading strategies, that and a lot more. Make sure you check that out if you're new to options. It's a one-time payment, but you have access to it for life. And lastly but not least, check me out on all different forms of social media, on X, on Instagram and TikTok at The Wealth Prince. And most importantly, be back here next time for another video. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you're not in the Discord, come catch me in the Discord. I go into making, you go into making. See you guys next time for another video. Peace.